The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 has been revealed on top of many upgrades to its predecessor, and it seems that they may have finally solved the Fold's biggest issue. So hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So first up, for anyone impatient and wanting to get a new device now, Samsung have a great deal on their website with up to 1,000 off in trading credit, as well as 300 off in instant savings for select colors, and there's also deals for the S25 and more. And of course, I've placed a link down in the description below, or you can also click the card in the top right corner, so go ahead and check out that offer now. Next up, we've got the upgrade that many have been waiting for, and the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 is going to get significant improvements to photography thanks to a new 200 megapixel primary camera. And according to Abhishek Yadav on X, the Fold 7 is going to be using the 200 megapixel ISOCELL HP2 sensor, which is the same sensor used in the S25 Ultra. And I've seen so many complaints in the comments about the Fold and its cameras, so this should make many people happy. It's also not the only improvement, and the under-panel camera is also going to be getting an upgrade, and while we don't know what the exact upgrade is yet, I would estimate it's maybe something like an 8 megapixel sensor, because the light capture is still a lot more difficult under the display, and I can't see them jumping straight to a 12 megapixel, but we're going to have to wait and see. Now the Galaxy Z Fold 7 also gets a reduction in its overall size, with the device now coming in at 4.5mm thick when it's unfolded, and then 9.5mm thick when it's folded, making it Samsung's thinnest fold to date, but still not as thin as some of its competitors. We do, however, get the same 4,400 mAh battery despite this reduced thickness, although fast charging is likely to remain unchanged. Now the Z Fold 7 is going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite, and there is talk of them using the 7-core version to help with thermals, but we're going to have to wait and see. Now next up, we've had many rumors of no creasing in the center of the display as we get every single year, but this time we do actually have some proof to go with it. At MWC, Samsung showcased a new foldable display alongside the Z Fold 6, and while many people were jumping to the conclusion that this is the Fold 7, that is actually very unlikely, but it does go to show that Samsung have the technology, which means that we could well see it in the Z Fold 7. Thanks to a new upgraded hinge design as well as a better protective layer for the display, you can see it's a huge improvement to the center creasing, and I wouldn't say it's gone completely, but it's certainly significantly better. Now thanks to the new form factor, we're also going to see an increase in the internal display size, which according to Ross Young is now going to be an 8-inch display, and when it comes to display leaks, Ross Young is always very accurate. Now finally, we've got the first look at the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 thanks to OnLeaks and Android Headlines, who have delivered plenty of high-res images along with a 360 video render. This gives you a good look at every angle, and I'm also going to be correcting my renders to reflect these. Now they advise that the device comes in at 158.4 by 143.1 by 4.5mm, which makes it taller, wider and thinner than the Z Fold 6, but in terms of the rest of the design, it looks very similar to the Fold 6. Now we've got the flat edge design, and we still have raised camera modules in an oval shape like the Fold 6, but of course we do get these camera upgrades as well. Now when it comes to design leaks, again, OnLeaks has proved himself time and time again, so we can be fairly sure that these leaks are accurate, but overall it means that we're getting a similar looking Fold with an improved form factor, but there are still plenty of upgrades in the software and hardware. But for those of you excited for the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, we're now going to run through the full specs, design and the expected pricing to help you guys decide if it is worth the wait. So hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, we get an 8-inch foldable 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display, and it's going to be brighter and more accurate than the predecessor. And it's also protected by Samsung's new ultra-thin glass that reportedly has no creasing in the center of the display. We get the usual HD resolution along with some trimmed down bezels and a full screen display. For the external display, it's a full screen 6.5-inch 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display. Again, we get improvements to brightness as well as color accuracy, and it's also going to be even wider than its predecessor, which is great news to hear. We'll be getting S Pen support for both the displays, but the S Pen is not going to be housed inside the Z Fold 7 and it will be sold separately. When it comes to cameras, we get a 10 megapixel punch-hole selfie camera on the front, along with a 4 megapixel under-display camera on the internal folding display. And then over on the rear, it's a triple camera setup with a 200 megapixel primary camera, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera, and then a 10 megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom, so it's great that we finally see a better primary camera. Now it's going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite, although they may actually use the 7-core version for better thermal performance, and it's coming with 16GB of RAM and up to 1TB of storage, which will be UFS 4. It's coming with a 4400 mAh battery, and unfortunately there's going to be no upgrades to the fast charging, but we will see wireless and reverse wireless charging. And we're getting 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7 and NFC support, and the phone is going to ship with One UI 7 based on Android 15. Now it's shipping in July 2025, and it's expected to start from around $1,900, and that's going to be about £1,800 for the UK. So overall, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 is looking like a great addition to the lineup, and the new slim form factor is great news for me, and I'm happy to see it increasing in display size as well. And then the reduction increasing in the center of the display is of course going to be welcomed by everyone. Now of course, with the new hardware and software, it also means it's going to handle pretty much anything you can throw at it. We'll no doubt get some new AI features as well, and an upgrade to a 200 megapixel primary camera is something that many fans have been waiting for years. Now given its similarities with the predecessor though, I can't imagine anyone with a Fold 6 rushing for an upgrade unless they really want that 200 megapixel camera, but for anyone with an older Fold or looking to try out their first Fold, then it's a great choice. Now of course, launch is still quite a few months away, but we'll be getting more and more leaks as we approach them, and of course I'm going to be sharing them as soon as they come in, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.